What's up, students? PGT in the house again. Today's class we're going to go over everything you need to know about lids. About unmodified lid techs, modified ones, grain jar lids, liquid culture lids. You'll be a mushroom lid pro by the end of this video. We're getting a lot of questions about people asking me how I do my lids, why I don't have holes in my lids. So I'm going to start off by introducing you guys to what I call the unmodified lid tech here. Now this is going to work with the two-piece mason jar lids, the ones with the ring here. What you do is flip the lid over, you'll screw on the ring, and you don't want this to be completely tight. It's going to be air sealed if it's tight. So you want to loosen this up about a quarter turn or so. You don't want it too much that it'll just pop right off, but you don't want it too tight either. So just enough that it wiggles around a little bit like this. Now when it's loose like this, it's going to provide adequate gas exchange for your mycelium to colonize. Now what do I mean by gas exchange? Mycelium, they will expel carbon dioxide and they intake oxygen. They basically just like to breathe. So the most important thing we need to do is provide them with gas exchange, or GE. And if you don't provide them with enough gas exchange, they will suffocate and stall out and die. This is why you see a lot of mushroom growers will poke holes into their lids and they cover it with micropore tape or polyfill, and that is the traditional way of providing gas exchange. Now over time, as you're using your lids here, the metal ones, you're going to notice that you're going to get a lot of rust stains on them. This is pretty much when I start to retire these lids, and I'll switch over to the plastic lids here. So they'll last a lot longer than the metal ones and they won't rust out on you. Now the great thing about the unmodified lid tech is it's going to work for plastic lids as well. So long are gone the days that you need to poke holes into your lids for your grain jars. It's 2021 now. Cultivation techniques are improving and they're getting a lot more simplified. I picked up these two types of plastic lids here, the ones that are from the Ball brand. They're the gray leak-proof lids, and I also have these white plastic ones as well that are on the cheaper side. I've learned that they both work just the same way. There's not much difference to them. Probably in terms of quality, the gray ones will last a bit longer than the white ones. So same thing again, you want to just screw on your lids and just loosen it up a quarter turn so that it wiggles around a little bit, and this will provide the gas exchange that it needs. Got it? Good. Over time, as you're pressure cooking these lids, they are going to start to warp a little bit, so they'll be a little bit harder to screw on sometimes, but I still feel that they still work really well as long as you loosen it up from a complete tight seal. Maybe a little bit harder for them to wiggle, but as long as they're loosened, they will still provide the gas exchange that you need. Alright, so the final thing I want to go over with grain jar lids is the traditional method where people will poke a hole into it and cover it with micropore tape. This is going to be preferable for those people that want to use jar lids that are pretty much one-piece lids like this. A lot of times it's pickle jars or pasta jars or something like that, and you can't really loosen it up very well. So you're going to have to modify the lids in order to use these types. Right, now that we're done with the grain jar lids, I'll go over the liquid culture lids. These are the only time when I will actually modify my lids and poke holes in them, is pretty much for liquid culture. Liquid culture lid, you will need a self-healing injection port as well as a hole for gas exchange. This right here is a pre-made liquid culture lid, and the person that made these used a syringe filter as the gas exchange port. So here you can see I've poked some holes into the self-healing injection port already. This has already been a used lid, but I'm just showcasing it for this demonstration here. And you can buy the supplies needed to make your own liquid culture lids. Here today I'm going to be using some products by Microposse. They are a company that will specialize in making self-healing injection ports and filter ports for all your jar lid needs, and they work really well. They use 3M tape to adhesive themselves onto the lids, so there's not a whole lot you need to do except put holes and stick them on your jars. So yeah, go check them out if you're interested in them. If you want to buy from them, use promo code PGT. It'll get you 10% off. So I really recommend them if you have to modify your lids. They really make the process very quick and easy. Alright, now we'll go over how to make your liquid culture lids. You need to get 2 holes into your lid, one for the injection port and one for the gas exchange. At the moment it's not up, but depending on when you're watching this video, I will have a video out explaining the liquid culture process further in depth. But for now, this video will just be going over how to make the lids. So I'm going to be heating up a nail here to melt 2 holes into my lid. You want a decent sized hole to work with, about 2 to 3 centimeters or about 1/4 inch in size. I do not recommend trying to use a nail and hammer to put the holes into your lid. You will just end up cracking your lids that way. It's best to use a drill if you have one. I personally don't have a drill right now, so this is the next easiest method that I found personally. I recommend that if you're going to do this method, to please do this outside, as to not breathe in the plastic fumes that this will create. In my scenario here, I have the kitchen ventilation hood going to suck the fumes out, and I'm also wearing a mask to protect myself from breathing it in. Once you have holes into your lid, you want to go ahead and use some isopropyl alcohol to sanitize and clean up the surface around the hole, as you'll be applying your injection port and filters on there. That's pretty much as easy as it can get for making your own liquid culture lids. Just a heads up with these filter ports, they aren't leak proof, so don't shake up your liquid culture jar like it's chocolate milk or something like that, and definitely don't turn them upside down. It will leak out of the ports, so just be mindful when handling your liquid cultures if you decide to use this method. If you would not rather deal with this, just spend the extra money and buy yourself some pre-made liquid culture lids. They will be out there on places like Amazon or Etsy. As far as using these injection ports and filter ports, they will last probably about 2 to 3 uses out of them. After that, you probably want to replace them. So luckily, these are just easy to just peel off and stick on new ones. So they give you a good amount to use with, so it's not a big deal when you have to replace them. And that's pretty much everything I have to cover about lids. I want to keep this video short and simple. If there's something else I may have missed, or if you have any questions, just drop a comment below about it. Shout out to this month's patrons. Without you guys, I could not have made it this far. You guys enable me to continue doing what I love. Thank you very much for the support as always. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, please hit the like button. Leave comments below and subscribe for more videos. If you want to discuss and learn more about mushrooms and mycology, come join us over on the Discord server. And if you want to show some support by becoming a golden student, you can check out my Patreon. All links will be in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video.